Hey there, welcome back to the Jaw Life channel. I am, of course, Jaw, and we are continuing to work our way towards the 100 live guitar practice streams. No cuts, no edits, no green screens, just straight raw recordings. So, just want to thank you all so much for joining my journey. We are now on day 93, so continuing to get closer and closer to meeting that challenge. And I, as always, like to challenge you guys as well. Don't just watch my videos or whatever, but pick up your guitar as well. Or maybe if you're not interested in music or learning the guitar, if you're on a little endeavor yourself or whatever the challenge might be, whether it's glass blowing or weaving and sewing and putting patches on clothes, or learning a new bicycle trick, or whatever it might be, maybe quitting cigarettes or something like that. I strongly encourage you to go for something in life. Challenge yourself, give yourself a little bit of a goal, put a time frame on it, or quantify it in some way, because then once you do start making your way towards that goal and you actually get there, oh man, you're going to feel so satisfied within. I promise you that. So I hope that this, even if people aren't interested in music and guitar, I hope that I can inspire somebody to just go out there and try stuff, challenge yourself. I promise you'll grow from it. So anyways, with the guitar today, I hope you guys follow me on this actual guitar journey and pick up your guitar and follow along as I try to explain some things and teach some tips, some practice exercises, and just pass along a little bit of knowledge that I, as a beginner, have been picking up on. I do a lot of research and things like that offline, and I try to bring that knowledge to the YouTube channel to hopefully make a light bulb turn on for another beginner. Right? There's often times where we're watching YouTube and it's supposed to be a beginner video and the person's just shredded and stuff. And it's just like where they're talking above our head in a way that we don't quite understand yet because, we're a beginner. We're all on our own journey. Me, when I say beginner, I mean absolute 100 bare bone, didn't have family, inspiring in the household and stuff like that, playing instruments. I always loved music to listen to it, but, never actually like played it, things like that. I remember the first time I put this guitar around my shoulder, it was actually around my neck like a necklace. So I didn't even know how to hold the thing, let alone how to hold the pick or how to, hit certain strings and not muffle things. So I'm like 100% bare bone beginner. So hopefully I can, be some type of inspiration and just show that, at one point, there's always that growth period. We see the celebrities and the John Mayers and Jimi Hendrixes and Eric Claptons and, whoever, the great guitarist that you want to insert there might be, and we just see them shredded. It'd be really, really cool, though, if we could see, them in their beginning stages, right? So hopefully by me putting these out as I'm a beginner, couple more months down the line, actually probably, to be dead honest, a couple years down the line, when I'm really playing pretty solidly, can always go back and I'll have these 100 videos to show that, no, look at the struggle that I had to go through. So anyways, just wanted to put all that out there. And like I said, follow along. And I always put my notes in the pinned comment section below. So make sure you check that out. But let's just have some fun. Let's learn some tips, learn some practice exercises, and just enjoy the journey, right? There is no destination, right? When you learn one song, you want to learn another song. You learn 15 songs, there's still another technique that you haven't, learned, tapping or finger picking, or so there really is no destination, right? There's always something more. So just enjoy it, have fun, smile, laugh at your failures, smile at your successes, pat yourself on the back, and just know that you're trying. Hey, when you're trying and failing, that's a misconstrued word, in my opinion, or misunderstood word, right? Failing, people think that it's a negative thing, but no, you have to fail. If you're not even failing, you're not even trying. And the people that aren't even trying, those are the failures or the losers, or whatever, you want to say about them. But if you're putting in consistency, you're trying, you're failing, you're getting back on that wagon, you're getting back on that horse, and you're continuing to go, you're a winner in my book. So anyways, enough chit chat. We're here to play the guitar, right? We got an hour to play, so let's go ahead and jump on in. As you can tell, we're going to get into some major and minor chords. Well, actually, it's chord progressions, but I'm going to use major and minor chords. I'm not going to do the sus chords and all those fancy chords and things like that just yet. Just going to stick with some basic chords, major and minor chords, but focusing in on actual chord progressions instead of just randomly bouncing around to whatever chord I want to build that muscle memory and things. Now there's an order of what chords you should be playing. And one of the common chord progressions that I have researched, I've watched, hundreds of YouTube videos, and this YouTuber says that these are the most common chords, but then this YouTuber says that these are the most common chords, and this YouTuber over here says that these are the most common chords. And I'm always writing them down and seeing what they all think. And I've made a mass pile of what a lot of them were actually, trying to say. And a lot of them that I came up with have on my list are down below in the pinned comment section. But one of them here that I want to focus on is the 1-4-5-4 chord progression. And one thing I've learned is that the key of C and the key of G seem to be like the more common chord progressions. So that's where we'll start, right? I'm a beginner. Eventually, I will learn the other keys and the other chord progressions and things like that. But since I'm a, full-on beginner, let's start with the most common things. So that way, when I come to play songs, I'll, hopefully it'll be in the key of C or G, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I remember that. I remember that. So let's go ahead and jump on in to the 1-4-5-4 in the key of C. We'll start with C. We'll go to G in a couple more minutes. But so you're asking yourself, okay, how do you even know what the chord progression is if it's a 1-4-5-4? What does that really mean? Okay, so you're looking for the notes, the first note, the fourth note, the fifth note, and the fourth note of that key. If we're in the key of C, okay, let's just walk through it real quick. You want to find your 1. Okay, you're in the key of C, so your 1 is going to be C. So, all right, you got 1 equals C. Write that down. Now you want to find your 4. Okay, well, if you're in the key of C, you just go with the musical alphabet, straight in order. You start with C. Next letter is D, E, F. Okay, so now your 4 equals F. 4 equals F in the key of C. Okay, now you want to find your 5, right? 1-4-5-4. 1-4-5-4. So we're trying to find the 5. You have your C, D, E, F. Now we have G. So 5 equals G. Write that down. All right, and then it's another 4. So we already learned that, which was C, D, E, F. So it's 1-4-5-4, C, F, G, F. And that's your chord progression in the key of C. So then you just go to your chords, and then you play a C chord, an F chord, a G chord, and back to an F chord. And then, so those are the 4 chords, and then it all just comes down to, your strumming pattern. What strumming pattern do you want to do? Do you want to do all downs? Do you want to have a fast tempo, a slow tempo? Do you want to have, 2 downs and 2 ups? How do you want to do the strumming? So that's when all of the art comes into play as well. So let's just try that. Let's just practice the 1-4-5-4 chord progression in the key of C with the strumming pattern of a down, down, up, down. I'll mute everything just real quick to show the strumming pattern. We're always focused on the left hand, but the right hand just really quick to show the strumming pattern that we'll do. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Okay? So 1-4-5-4 key of C. I already messed it up. It's C, F, G, F. I did C, G. My apologies there. Let's start over. C, F, G, F. C, F, G, F. Okay, now we're just going to keep playing around with that. Now that I've tried to demonstrate how to do that, we'll just keep playing around. Trying to get more comfortable, continue building the dexterity, continue building that muscle memory. How do you get the hand to quickly get to the shape that you need it to make to play that chord, right? As you can hear, I'm 93 days in. Still, things aren't super smooth. I'm not super, beautiful. But, hey, I don't beat myself up and just toss off the guitar and just be done with it. No, I did that for too many years in the very, 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 very beginning. And I'd, play for 5 minutes and my fingers would hurt, or I'd muffle things and I'd just put it up. But no, not anymore. So we're 93 hours in. We're just going to keep on going, and eventually things will get better. I'll continue educating myself up here in the brain. I'll continue, practicing the technique. And eventually, someday, someone will be like, man, you're really talented. Like, no, I'm actually not talented. I have many videos to prove it. I just, not a quitter. Continue doing it over and over and over again. So, and you can too. So stick with it. Let's go again. F, not a G. I love that C to G for some reason. C, F, G, F, C, F, G, F. Come on, Josh. So as you can see there, in between each chord, it's still not quite fast enough. It's still not quite smooth enough. So I just got to continue working on, those transitions. Going from a C to an F, I don't need to pull off all of my fingers, put the bar down first, and put the middle finger down, and then put, the ring and the pinky down. No, I need to kind of do it all simultaneously, right? So I still need to train my body, train my mind to understand that. I get it up here, what needs to be done, but until I rep it out and really, focus in and concentrate on that movement. Because going from a C to an F, really, a lot of the fingers are already there. The ring finger doesn't move at all. I put my pinky down. I move my middle finger just to the lower or to the higher string, from the fourth string to the third string, and then I take my index that's just on the C note and I just make it a full-on bar. So it seems like there's a lot there, believe me. Like, when I first started doing that, I was like, man, it's a big change. But once you get more and more and more comfortable, it starts to become easier and easier, right? The first time you did maybe a layup in basketball, it was super, super difficult. After you've done about 4,000 of them and you've been playing basketball for a year or two, you're starting to do reverse layups. You might be doing a layup with your less dominant arm or less dominant hand. You might be doing like a 360 layup or something like that. So it just takes time, right? It takes just getting comfortable with it. So just stick with it. We're going to switch it up now. Like I said, key of C and key of G are some of the most common chord keys to play in. I guess a lot of songs that you hear on the radio and things like that are in the key of C and G. Not all of them, obviously, but lots of them. So now we're going to do the key of G. So still 1, 4, 5, 4, but now we're in the key of G. So again, if you're trying to understand, well, how does a chord progression work? How do you understand what that even means? I'll teach you again. And I also have some other videos on chord progressions as well. Check those out, because the chord progressions I'm talking about in this video are different than the chord progressions I talk about in that video. Still the same way to figure out, what each number correlates to in terms of what that chord needs to be. But it is a different chord progression. So please check those out. Support the channel. But key of G, 1, 4, 5, 4. Okay, you need your 1. You're in the key of G, so your 1 is G. All right, so 1 equals G in the key of G. Now you need your 4. Okay, G is your first one. Wrap it back around the beginning of the musical alphabet. So you have G, A, B, C. All right, so your 4 equals C in the key of G. All right, now you need your 5. Well, if C is 4, D is 5. So 5 equals D, and then you need another 4, which we already just learned is G, A, B, C. So 4 equals C again. So key of G, 1, 4, 5, 4. You have G, C, D, C. So let's run that one. This time, let's do a chord progression or a strumming of. Let's go. Let's do which one? Which strumming? Down, 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 up, down, up. Down, 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 up, down, up. Down, 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 up, down, up. So that's the strumming pattern we'll work on this time, just to switch things up. So I know we're doing different chords here, but also let's do a little different of a strumming pattern as well, because the right hand needs to get some rhythm in it as well. I can't just strum, and strum. No matter how fluid and great my left hand gets, if I don't really understand strumming patterns, then everything's just going to be weird and no pattern to it. So let's work on our strumming patterns as well. So we want, again, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Okay. Key of G, 1, 4, 5, 4. G, C, D, C. playing around in the key of G. Working on the 1-4-5-4 chord progression, which is G, C, D, C. G, C, D, C. Back to G. C. Messed up there a little bit. Went from the D back to the G, and it's supposed to go from the D to the C. So, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot going on, even at these slow tempos. So, again, that's the reason I kind of took a step back. I was trying to play people's songs and, trying to play a Stain song or a Creed song or a Linkin Park song or whatever song it might be. It's at a lot faster tempo than what I was just trying to demonstrate. And as you can see, wasn't perfect, right? Messing up every now and then, going to the wrong chord, or maybe I'm going from one chord to the other chord, and as I lift up, I accidentally, kind of pluck the string a little bit when I'm coming off, trying to go to the other chord. So, just have a lot to work on. So I've decided to dial it back, work on some fundamentals, work on some technique for 100 days, challenge myself, and then after these 100 days, we'll get back into actually trying to, play other people's music. So that way I can, learn some actual songs and actually, maybe impress some friends or some family. But you need to work on some technique, and nothing wrong with that, right? Even once you do, know all kinds of songs and things like that, you think those professionals still aren't kind of coming back to fundamentals? They are. It's just like an NBA player. Just because they made it to the NBA, you think they're still not working on free throws? You think they're still not, working on their jump shot or their layups? They're still working on those very, very basic things. Professional skateboarder in the well, I guess they do have skateboards in the Olympics now. In the Olympics or at the X Games or wherever, you think that just because they're at that level that they're not still practicing, a basic kickflip or, something like that? Guarantee you they are. So anyways, now we're going to transition into another chord progression. And that one, before I get into what that one is, just wanted to remind you all that in the pinned comment section below, it has a list of my notes for the day. So if you check out the pinned comment, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. I know these are live recordings, right? No cool graphics and pop-ups and transitions or green screens or anything like that. So if you want, my notes, you can kind of, correlate what I'm saying with my mouth to some, written out text. My notes are down there in the pinned comment. While you're checking that out, though, if you would leave a comment of your own, I would greatly appreciate that. Let me know what you think of my notes, or these chord progressions, or whatever I'm talking about for that hour-long practice session. Chime in, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video, how it sounds, how it looks, whatever it might be. I appreciate the feedback, so that way I can learn and I can grow and I can adapt, right? I only have my viewpoint, my perspective. I'd appreciate, some perspective and viewpoints of all of my fellow friends out there. So leave some comments down below. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. It allows you to come back and find my content more easily rather than trying to have to, find me in the search engine. If you're subscribed to my channel, you can just go to your subscriptions and find the Jaw Life channel. So make sure you're subscribed. And then last but not least, smash that like button for your friend. That would be a blessing. Thank you so much. Now let's get back into the another chord progression. So first half of the video, we was talking about a 1-4-5-4 chord progression. Now we're going to talk about a 1-6-4-5 chord progression. So a little bit different. We still have a 1, we still have a 4, and we still have a 5. However, we're throwing a 6 in there, kind of in the middle. Second one, 1-6-4-5, 1-6-4-5. Again, we're going to stay in the key of C and the key of G, because those are the more common keys that a lot of the radio hits are played in. So again, not all, but a lot of them. So again, now we want to figure out, okay, what is the 1-6-4-5 chord progression in the key of C? Okay, we're starting with the 1. So first letter in the key of C is C. So your 1 equals C. No matter if it's the 1-4-5-4, the 1-6-4-5, the 1 in the key of C is always a C. Okay, now you want to find your 6. So you got C, D, E, F, G. Wrap it back around to an A. All right, so your 6 equals A. Now you want to find your 4, C, D, E, F. 4 equals F. Then you want to find your 5. Well, right after F comes G. So 5 equals G. So your 1-6-4-5 in the key of C is C, A, F, G. C, A, F, G, 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 C, A, F, G. 1-6-4-5, 1-6-4-5, 1-6-4-5, C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G, C, A, F, G. Just trying to pound it into my memory bank, right? Now, let's run through that. C, A, F, G. All right, now we want a strumming pattern also, right? Now we know what to do with our left hand. What do we do with our right hand? All right, let's do another strumming pattern. Let's take it back to the down, down, up, up, down. But we're going to have an open up on the very end. So it's down, down, up, down, up. But that up is open. So I'm not going to be on any of the chords, but it's going to be an open, so that way we have time to hopefully do our transition a little bit more smooth. So it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. But we're going to go at a really slow tempo. It's going to be down, down, down. All right, C, A, F, G. C, A, sorry, F. that last up is supposed to be open. So let's start over. So I notice one thing that I need to work on is getting all of the fingers in the left hand, all of the fingers down at the same time, right? I'm starting to understand how to do these chords, but I'm still placing the index finger, then placing the middle finger, then placing the ring finger. Or if it's an F chord, placing my middle finger first for some reason, and then my ring and my pinky, and then laying the bar. Whereas really it needs to kind of, come on all at the same time. Simultaneously, all four fingers need to be going. If I'm placing one finger, then placing the other finger, then placing the bar, I'm muting strings as I'm doing that, and then I'm strumming. When it really needs to be the left hand hits all the strings and the right hand strums at the exact same time. Not place everything, then strum, place everything, then strum, place everything, then strum, place everything, then strum. So I'm still working on that timing, right? And again, I know we're 93 days in, but just like anything, you're not going to be excellent when you're 93 days in. If you pick up, I don't know, sometimes I run out of analogies, but if you're picking up woodworking, you think after 93 days, you're just going to build, I don't know, a giant doghouse with swinging doors and open gates and automatic, whatever. No, not after 93 days. It's gonna take more time than that, right? So just be patient with yourself. Keep finding those small things that you can work on those. Find those small victories where you have improved, and smile at yourself, pat yourself on the back. Even when you make a mistake, just kind of laugh about it, if you can, right? There's sometimes where it's not so funny because you've been working on it so many times. You're like, oh, why can't I just get this? But, just keep working through it, right? It's the only way to get better at anything. You think Elon Musk, learned how to make a rocket and go to Mars in 93 days or even 100 days or even 200 days? No, he's read 200 books and spent, probably the last, I don't even know when he first started that journey, but it's been a decade or two or whatever it's been. So it just takes time. Just keep sticking with it if you're passionate about it, right? If you're not passionate about it, that's a different thing. Maybe hang it up. But the way I look at it is, just because you hang something up doesn't mean you're a quitter. In my opinion, if you didn't even give it a real go though, and you gave something up, then in my eyes, is to me, I would look at myself as a quitter that way, right? I owned this guitar for many years, right? 5 years before I've ever taken this challenge or whatever. Never really played it at all. To me, I was a quitter. I bought a guitar. I thought I wanted to do something, thought it was cool. Never even really gave it the time of the day. I looked at myself as a quitter because I never really gave it its full day in court. I never even really tried to learn the guitar, right? I just thought I could pick it up and be decent at it. So, and I wasn't. So I was frustrated. So I looked at myself as a quitter because I never really gave it its real day in court. If after doing this 100 challenge, let's just say hypothetically, I didn't really feel any passion. I felt like, it wasn't, just wasn't for me. Then I can look at myself in the mirror and I can be like, you know what? Hey, you challenge yourself. You did 100 days, back to back to back to back to back. You were consistent with it. You were recording videos, you were online doing research, reading articles, not just watching YouTube videos, but you were reading articles and things like that. You were building knowledge. You're really, giving it a true effort. And then if, maybe you're not super passionate about it, you realize that it's not for you, then in my opinion, you can put something down and not feel like a quitter. But when you never even really gave it a chance, to me, that's a quitter. So just hang in there. Keep challenging yourself. Keep going for something. All right, now we're going to kind of switch gears here for the last segment of this video. Let me grab a little sip of my tea real quick while this talking parches my throat. So refreshing. Nice and warm still. All right, so we're still going to stay in the 1-6-4-5 chord progression. But again, we was in the key of C. Now we're going to change gears into the key of G. So all right. So the 1-6-4-5 chord progression in the key of G obviously has some different notes, different chords that I got to string and ring out there. So, all right, how do you find out what the 1-6-4-5 is in the key of G? Again, G is your first one. Whatever root or key that you're in, that's always going to be your one. If you're in the key of D, your one will be D. If you're in the key of F, your one will be F. Right now we're in the key of G, so our one will be G. Then we want to find our 6, all right? Just go in the musical alphabet. There is nothing after G, but you wrap it back around to A, B, C, D, and E. So your 6 equals E in the key of G. Write that down. All right, then you have your 1-6-4. So now you need your 4. So you have G, A, B, C. Okay, 4 equals C in the key of G. Then you need to know your 5. So if you already had C as 4, D is 5. So 5 equals D in the key of G. So 1-6-4-5 in the key of G is G, E, C, D. G, E, C, D. G, E, C, D, 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 G, E, C, D. 1-6-4-5 in the key of G, G, E, C, D, G, E, C, D, G, E, C, D. All right, just whatever you have to do to pound it in up here, because once you're going and you're trying to flow and stuff, it's hard to think of so many things. This fingernail goes here, and I got to do 3 downstrokes, and then an upstroke, and then I got to do an open stroke, and then it's just there's a lot to think about, right? These musicians are talented, they're skilled, they've been doing it so many times. They've got a lot of practice in the belt. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he didn't get gigantic, in 93 days. No, it took him many years. He did lots and lots and lots of push-ups. He did lots and lots and lots of curls. He was in the gym for many hours. So that's what it takes, So 1-6-4-5 key of G. G, E, C, D, G, E, C, D, G, E, C, D. All right, and another chord or another strumming. So now we know what to do with our left hand. Now we got to think of a strumming pattern. What's another strumming pattern that I have? Let's do up, down, up. 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 Okay. G, E, C, D. This one's different because typically you want to start with that downstroke. Again, these different strumming patterns, it's good to kind of get the understand that rhythm, understand that different starting point. So it's good to mix it up. 1, 6, 4, 5 in the key of G. One, 6, 4, 5 in the key of G. G, E, C, D. G, E, C, D. Didn't sound good. muffled that. Let's start over on that. Again, we're in the 1-6-4-5 chord progression in the key of G. So that equates to G, E, C, D. Also, again, always check out my pinned comment section below. So that way you can see a layout of my notes and you can kind of see some word descriptions of what I'm trying to explain here. So it's always a good spot. I also recommend you always, copy and paste them into your own notes. It's fine. Steal them so that way you have, something to practice on as a beginner yourself. So let's just stay within this last chord progression here. 1-6-4-5 in the key of G, G, E, C, D. Strumming pattern, we're doing up, down, up, switch, up, down, up, switch, up, down, up, switch, up, down, up, return home to the G. Okay, so that's what we're working on now. itchy nose. Let's do one more pass through. All right. So, still not perfect there, but in my opinion, started feeling it, started sounding quite a bit better than at the beginning of the video when I wasn't really warmed up yet. So, anyways, find those small wins, be happy for yourself, But that's going to be a wrap on today's hour-long practice session. That is day 93 in the books. So, if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. Also, comment down below. Get a community of like minds speaking and helping each other, learn and grow about music and guitar and things like that. So I'd appreciate seeing some comments down below. And also, since you made it this far into the video, go ahead and smash that like button for your friend, right? All the time, energy, and everything that goes into making these videos, please help a friend out and smash that like button. Other than that, there should be some floating videos on the screen now. You can check out the 100-day series here, or you can check out the subsequent video in the series over here. So please support your channel. I'd appreciate that. Other than that, until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Peace. I love you guys. See you in the next one. Take care. Have a good day. See ya.